ready, bro. I really hope you're ready. And if you is ready, you're not ready. Kill you, bro. Wow. I just can't wait to unleash this energy.
This is crazy. I'm like, KSI. KSI wants to talk to you. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy that's going against the monster. I want to be the monster that takes out the monsters.
And we're still left with Deji's opponent. The question on everyone's mind has been, who is Deji's opponent?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Misfits News. I'm your traveling host, as always, Ben the Bay Davis, joined by my co-host, BL, and we've got some of the latest and greatest updates in the world of crossover combat sports. But before we get into all of that, BL, how are you?
Ben, I'm doing fantastically. You're on the road again. It's always good to have you on. We had to make sure the host was on Misfits News. We couldn't let you down. But today we've got some super exciting fight announcements and some other topics to run through. So let me run you through today's list. There are 2 more fights that have been added to the Qatar card with some more to come. We find out Deji's opponent, where he's from. We have a teaser of a major Misfits project that will be releasing tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. UK time. And we go to Amir, Cashman and Yuddy Gang to hear about their upcoming fight.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, before we jump into all of it, big congratulations to one Danny Aarons, who announced that he is having his first child soon with his wife, Tennessee Thresh, or fiance. Are they Girlfriend, even better. Danny, amazing work, lad. So proud of you in every way, shape, and form. So from Misfits News to Danny Aarons, congrats. That's big.
Danny Aarons is a good friend of the Misfits Boxing channel, and we always love to have him on. And I'm so happy to see that he's having this incredible next stage of his life. And Danny Aarons, well done. We're proud of you. And I know you're going to have a beautiful family ahead. However, switching it back to Misfits, there has been 2 additional fights to Qatar. We have the pro Amir Cashman making his return. And then we see the finals of the lightweight tournament finally play out. Ben, how excited are you to see the end of this conclusion?
This is the highest level matchup that I think we could produce for the interim lightweight tournament. It is very funny to me that now the majority of Lil CraCra's fights in Misfits have been against Yuddy Gang, right? The first time was stopped short because of the bomb evacuation. The second time, Lil CraCra loses, gets kicked out of the tournament, then comes back, beats Ace Musa, beats Joey Knight, finds Yuddy Gang once more in the finals. I love it. It's a great storyline. And in terms of excitement, the second fight was really tremendous. I think Lil CraCra came on early, was very strong in the first couple of rounds. And Yuddy Gang had a lot of success late. Now, BL, we get to see in the rubber match whose style and game plan is really going to seal the deal on this.
Well, we're not stopping there. Mams has announced we're getting 2 more fights, and we're still left with Deji's opponent, which we're going to get into later. The current card stands at, and let me repeat to you, Gib versus Slim, Salt Pappy versus King Kenny, Deji versus ... Jay versus Nick Lamau, Jarvis versus Ben, Yuddy Gang versus CraCra. Ben, what a stacked card. I mean, when you really say about 50-50 fights, any of these fights can go either way, in my opinion.
I agree with that completely. It's a very evenly matched card. I think everyone's taking big risks. Jarvis and Ben Williams is going to be beyond entertaining. I think that's a truly high-level matchup. Amir Anderson, I don't know the caliber of opponent they've sourced for him. You know, Kijante Davis, who I believe was his first opponent on Misfits, was an athletic specimen, but maybe didn't possess boxing fundamentals. So hopefully in his next and second Misfits appearance, we get someone that can, you know, really stand and maybe find boxing success with him. But either way, BL, this card's fantastic.
It's an absolutely fantastic card. And I'll tell you something, KSI, the man himself, has had a few words to say about the main event.
I will be there to see Gib's downfall. I will be there, ladies and gentlemen, to see Gib finally get beat the fuck up. And I'll finally get to see Slim shut him up for good.
So I was seeing some footage in 2018 of KSI and Nissan Gib after KSI beat Joe Weller and Nissan Gib was hugging him. They were in the same card. And now the tables have really turned. And Nissan Gib wants to take down Misfits. And KSI has had some words to say about it.
Yeah, KSI and Gib no longer buds. I think that the kind of mentality that Gibbs brought to Misfits, which is I'm going to bury another promotion, I'm going to burn this whole house down, that's really set him completely opposite the nightmare in every way, shape, and form. So for KSI, he has no choice but to get behind the champion and rally behind the hitman, which is very funny considering, again, they were slated to fight in August of this year. And now every KSI tweet about this event seemingly is supporting Slim and hoping that he has success against Gib and gets the job done. So I think we're in a very unique storyline between them, and something we haven't really seen before. I think Gib brings such a layer of depth to crossover combat sports, and if he gets the job done, who knows what's going to happen.
Now, before we move on to our next topic, I want you all to scan the QR code that is on your screen and get your fight ticket. November 28th is the Qatar Supercard. You simply do not want to miss this one. Gib versus Slim, Ben Williams versus Jarvis. Jay Swingler is back in action against Nick Lamau. Get to Qatar, scan the QR code, get your tickets, and we hope to see you there. But if you're not able to get to Qatar, make sure you buy the pay-per-view live on DAZN.
The question on everyone's mind has been, who is Deji's opponent? Well, we know it's not Alex Wasabi. However, Fred has given us some exclusive.
Has he fought before?
Yes.
Has he got more experience than you, or about on par? If you don't speak, he's got 10 fights and a lot more experience than you.
Saying that his opponent will be revealed this week, and he is from the UAE. So I guess the big takeaway from that is we're going to find out this week who Deji will be facing in Qatar.
Yeah, that's the big update. That's the real big announcement. We will find out the opponent. Short time for that individual stepping into this. Let's hope that they've been training and staying in the gym, because, I mean, we're a couple weeks out. This is not time for them to formulate a game plan or a fight camp. You know, they got to brawl. They have to bring it to Deji, and especially if they're from the UAE, this is kind of a home game, right? They do get to be in their own backyard, and I know they're probably going to be positioned as a massive underdog to Deji just by virtue of this being short notice. But let's see. Maybe we can find a Cinderella story and some hometown hero that can take out the superstar Deji, right, in their own backyard. That'd be great, BL.
Well, I saw an interview recently that when King Kenny actually announced Deji's opponent, the interviewer looked quite shocked, quite surprised.
He's fighting. Yes. Is that's not been announced yet? But like, that's a. Are you being serious? Yeah.
So we actually don't know who it is. So I'm excited to hear who it could be. Hopefully it is a challenge for Deji. Hopefully it's someone that can get him back into the shape that we need and get him prepared for that Alex Wasabi fight coming later this year or next year.
We keep talking about how it's not Alex Wasabi, but BL, what if on fight night the music hits and Wasabi runs down the ramp? What if
we had you fooled all the time?
It's all just smoke and mirrors, BL.
The lightweight tournament finals is finally taking place November 28th. So we had to bring in Yuddy Gang to hear how he's preparing for this fight coming up. The Qatar event only gets bigger and bigger, especially with these fight announcements that have just happened. So I thought I'd kickstart the episode with the finalist. Yuddy Gang, how we doing?
What's up, man? I woke up, so we good, man.
It's great to finally have it announced. I've known about it for a while, and
Man.
getting an end of this chapter, it was needed.
Yeah, no, definitely needed. I'm glad we're here. You know, it's been a journey. You know, my fans, my family, whatever you want to call them. You know, we've been tuning in, so we're here, baby.
Well, let's talk about that journey. We started off the journey in Nashville against CraCra. Now you're ending it off with CraCra as well. What is that like? Like, I bet you never expected the turn of events to be the way it is.
Oh man, I think everything is about your journey. You know, I think we had two trilogy. I mean, we had two performances together, and people liked it. You know, but it's all about dominance, and I think that's what we're gonna, get out of this one. Yeah, a very dominant performance. You know what I'm saying?
In that second fight, people were arguing that maybe CraCra won it. So in this finals, are you going to want to make it really decisive? Do you want there to be no discussion for the fans?
There won't be no discussion. One thing you can look at all of my fights, I've never been the same. I always grew. That's my life. Like, no matter if I'm selling pencils, I'm gonna be the best pencil sharpener. Or the best, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm in, I'm gonna be the best person at that, experience that I'm going through.
Well, you talk about the changes you make to each fight. Now, in that second fight, when you came out and you came out to Southpaw, I was shocked myself. I was like, is he injured? What's going on? But it actually worked in your favor massively. I mean, it completely changed the game plan. I think it threw CraCra off slightly. What was the game plan going into that fight?
Man, we do what we want to do. We stick with the game plan that my coach gave me, and we do the game plan. That's what we always going to see because we work as a team. I don't do nothing by myself, you know?
Now, you beat CraCra that first time round. Well, that second time round, actually, my correction. Do you think he deserves to be in this final? Do you think he's earned his spot?
I'm thinking everything is simulation, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like I won Southpaw. You know, beat him 9 was really. You know, I mean, this is the one that's probably gonna get. I'm giving my knockout. I'm looking for my knockout. So you know, I think this might be the one.
What did you actually make of his last performance against Joey Knight? At the first few rounds, he really dominated, and then Joey Knight found his rhythm at the end of it. What did you assess when you were watching it?
Joy Knight is a beautiful fighter. He stepped on the gas a little bit too late. I think he could have won that, but I think he just ran. You know, with me, you can't run and you can't stay in the middle with me, so you're gonna have to fight. So, you know, it is gonna be a war from first round to the second round where I think I'm gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. It's just he ran and he did what he had to do to win some amateur stuff, but you can't do no amateur stuff with me because I've been doing this, man. So yeah.
In the last 2 fights that you've had, you started a bit slower and then found yourself at the end of the fight, and CraCra would start off really quickly and then start losing energy at the end of the fight. Is it going to be different this time? Are you going to meet him in the middle at the start of the fight and point down at that canvas and really put the energy on?
Oh yeah, we stepping on the gas from the first round to the second round.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I want to see it. So I just want to touch base on what CraCra has been doing. He's been doing some sparring with Curmel Moton. I don't know if you've had a chance to see that. What do you make of him sort of sparring with that higher level opposition now?
I mean, anybody can get that ass beat.
Do you think he got his ass beat?
Of course. I mean, it's levels to it, and I'm not saying we're not at that level, but we're not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's these dudes, as far as influencer boxing, there's pros, and they're not taking no time off. They're gym rats. We not gym rats. You know, so I think I'm the more gym rat out of everybody that's in the scene, and yeah, it's levels to it. So anybody can get their ass beat and take a picture and be like, oh, I've been. Bro, you didn't learn that. That's not like you had. It's like me going to Shakur Curmel Moton's camp, and I learned from that camp. You just spar with my dude. Like, there's a meaning.
Well, let's talk about your camp and how you've been preparing for it as well. What sort of adjustments have you made going into this fight, or have you kept everything similar to the last couple ones?
All of my fights, I have the skills. All of my fights is mental. All of my fights is mental from the first day all the way up to the last. You know, my coach, everything I do is mental. And nobody can stop me. You know what I'm saying? So my coach, my pops put out the game plan, and that's what we do. But everything is all mental. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you the fastest track runner. Hey, we running with you. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the camp, I'm either we gonna be at the same pace or I'm gonna beat you. Most likely I'm gonna beat you.
Well, big shout out to Keith. He is one of the best coaches in the game for sure.
Man, if not the best one of the best in the world. You know,
absolutely. Absolutely love him. When I see him during fight week, he brings me energy. I end up performing better, and he's not even in my corner at that point.
Nah, man. We talk about you all the time, man. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as you have that love, that energy to go get it, you gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So you just all it is just a reflection, you know. And he just put what he went through to me, and it's like, okay, let's go get it.
If you get your hands raised that night and you win this finals, when you get your hands raised that night and you win that finals, you're going head to head with Deen the Great. Do you think he's ready for that?
I'm not worried about Deen. Yeah. I will honestly be surprised if we actually fight, because especially after this performance, you already seen I can go southpaw. You can see it like that's
Enough is said.
And it's kind of like a Shakur Javante, you know what I'm saying? I won't be surprised if we make our own type of lane because I understand he's the big, you know what I'm saying? He's a money fight. Why would you want to lose money? Did you put him in a ring with me? I'm dogging him. Worse than probably anybody that ever got in the ring. Easy one.
Yeah.
Easy one. You know, after this win, if they say that, you know, we have a fight, we right back in the gym. It's gonna be wait, because I'm in shape. I'm not. I'm that close to the finish line. You think I'm about to take all this party? Bro, we right back in the gym.
I'd love to see that fight. Me personally, I think that would be a real clash of titans. And if we can make it happen, first quarter of next year, I need to see it. But I want to touch base on Deen's last fight as well. He was out in Dublin. He had a long time off after an injury as well. What did you assess of his performance? What did you make of it, that latter end of the fight, anyhow?
So, you know, Deen is a dog. You know what I'm saying? Far as you know, he threw out his arm. Like you could tell, like he throwing his arm because he putting all into the shots. He take it very serious. He got, you know, skills he been doing a long time. It's just the level of opposition that he has. Like, no, nothing against Walid, but you know, Walid is a dog also, but he's not on the skill level as Deen, even though he got him in that first fight. You know what I'm saying? Walid is my like a little brother of me. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother, but it's just different levels. Whitney has speed. Deen has speed. Deen has, you know, a lot of power for us. You know, him just throwing his all into his shots. The last fight he did in Dublin was against somebody that was easy work. But because he was easy work, he showed what you can do against Deen if you're the right type of guy. Now, if you get mixed speed, you mix athleticism with me in the building, what you gonna get? You know what I'm saying? And plus, I have a chin. Like, you're not about to
That
just,
is for sure. That right hand
you're
that
not,
Argentinian king landed, and you took like an absolute champ.
man, I'm a dog. Like, and it's crazy. Like, I turned the dog on in the camp, you know what I'm saying? Because my coach gives me like the green light for us, pushing me mentally. But it's something about like when I step in that ring, it's it's different. Whether I'm like, you're not gonna touch me, or I'm gonna get this W by any means. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I can't wait till, you know, November 28th, man. It's about to be a beautiful, very dominant. You know what I'm saying? We've been in camp for 10 weeks. After he won that last fight, we got right into camp. So it's been a long, you know, a long 8 weeks. We got 2 more weeks, or 9 weeks. We got 2 more weeks, and it's over.
November 28th. I cannot wait to see it unfold. But you mentioned the name Walid there. He'd recently just had a fight and won by round one KO. Do you think we could possibly see Walid return real soon? I don't know. I want to hear your opinion.
Definitely. Well, he's one of them top guys, not because he's like a Arturo Gotti. Like, people love him because he's him. He can fight. He's very entertaining far as how he talks. I would love to see his fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just one of the people that's made for misfits, you know?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Now, I want to ask you the question. Once you, as you say in your words, once you win, once you get that belt, especially in this tournament anyhow, how far do you want to go with this? What is your ultimate goal with Misfits?
I'm staying on misfits, man. Like, whatever, you know, I think you know, this is going to give me a lot of recognition for us, you know, because I'm on a supercar. I'm on a car with Kenny, Salt Poppy. A lot of items going to be on this car. So the people that don't know me is going to know me on the 28th.
Now, November 28th is only a matter of weeks away. When this comes out, it will be real close. Now, can you walk me through your final prediction? That bell goes off. You meet him in the middle of the ring. Talk me through exactly how this fight plays out.
Man, if it's this one, I'm coming like what do you call it? What's our guy? What's my guy name? I don't know why I forgot his name. But I'm coming like businessman, man. It's all business. I ain't really doing too much plan. Um, you're not gonna take no food out of my family's mouth. You know what I'm saying? He's just a little kid that's not his time yet, but it's going to be one of the biggest fight probably on Misfits ever. You know what I'm saying? As far as the performance, punches landed, when I get him out of there, it's gonna be a really good fight, and the outfit gonna be amazing. So I can't wait.
Well, to sign off this interview, I'd like you to look at the barrel of the camera, look at CraCra, because he's watching this. I'm certain he is, and give him your final messages going into fight week.
You ready, bro? I really hope you're ready. And if you is ready, you're not ready, kill you, bro. Woo. I just can't wait to release this energy. You know what I'm saying? You've been dogging it for like 8-9 weeks. It's like you got one person on your mind. You know what I'm saying? One face. You want to taste the blood on your gloves. Like, yeah, let's go. It's go time. No pretty stuff. No, let's go. You thought the last one was bad? No, we're 28th. I hope you're ready, my boy. You ready?
Contender for fight of the night, Yuddy Gang. I appreciate you coming on. I cannot wait to see how this tournament final plays out, the third installment of this fight. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in Qatar.
Yuddy Gang is a different animal this time around, BL. I just think that he's adjusted the mentality. This isn't going to the scorecards, Yuddy Gang. This isn't maybe boxing smart, Yuddy Gang. This is a killer. This is an apex predator that Lil CraCra is going to have to go up against this time. So, I don't know. I like it from Yuddy Gang, and I'll set my Phoenix bias aside, right? One of my fellow Arizonans. But it does seem that he's bringing a different edge to this one.
It's a different mentality with this one. He doesn't want to go to the end. He wants to make a statement with this one. He doesn't want the fans to dispute, oh, did CraCra win that one? It was too close to tell. He wants the fans to walk away and go, this guy takes out the whole division, and he takes out Deen the Great after. This is what he wants from this fight. With 2 announcements, we thought we'd not only bring Yuddy Gang, but we'd also bring Amir Cashman to talk about his upcoming fight in Qatar. Well, for our second guest of the episode, we bring someone from the pro ranks that is being introduced to Qatar, the 10-time national champion and international champion, Amir Cashman. How are we today, sir?
Feeling great, feeling really good. So looking forward for the Qatar. We made the announcement, and now it's time to, step in that ring and do what I do.
How does it feel that it's finally announced, that it's public knowledge now?
Oh my God, I've been dreading the announcement. I wanted to just burst out and tell everybody the big news because it's a big card. A lot of Deji, Salt Poppy, it's just a lot of big names on there. So when you put a Cashman in there, it's just like, Cashman, why is he on there? But I gotta show everybody why I'm on this card.
Well, maybe answer me a couple of those questions. Why should people tune into your fight? Why should people take notice of Cashman?
Cashman is an entertainer, just like everybody else in the influencer boxing game. They all entertain. I feel like I'm an entertainer, and I got the skills. I have a different look when it comes down to boxing. They seen the influencer side. Now I can bring new eyes to the pro game and be able to show them this is what it takes to be a world champion. And I'm going to be that guy.
Well, it takes 2 to tango. It's not only you fighting. You've also got your opponent. Could you actually talk to me about your opponent? Is this a tougher test than you saw in Miami?
I look at all of my opponents as a world champion. You gotta look at them like they're the top level, so you can train at the top level. But I'm not looking past the guy, but I don't think he can really mess with me. But I'm hoping he can push me to my limits so I can show Misfits and everybody in the world that I'm one of the best and I'm going to be the best.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we're going to see that. So walk me through. Last time out, you were in there. You put a masterclass on, I must say. So this time out, what can people expect? What are you looking to bring? Is it going to be a knockout, or are you looking to play a little bit more with your opponent?
Wherever my training camp takes me, I want to get the knockout, but I do want to play. I do want to dance and show out a little bit, but only time will tell, and just wait for the performance, man. But just know that it's either going to be a stoppage or a knockout. I'm not looking for a decision.
Well, when I watch you fight as well, it reminds me of Jaron Ennis, Roy Jones Jr. Who sort of inspired you to get into boxing? What sort of styles did you watch when you went into the gym?
That's a funny question because I always been the type to I never really watched just one person. I always dibble and dab. Like I always watched Lomachenko, I watched Boots, I watched Crawford, I watched Canelo, and I always take little things from everybody. So I feel like I'm like a I'm like a mixed like a character that you make in the game. Any type of style that I've been in the ring with it. What I mean, I've been with the awkward, I've been with the guy that can try to take your head off, and I've been with them good boxers. I've been in the ring with people that have a lot of experience when it comes down to boxing and in a pro game and an amateur game. So I have a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. Well, you talk about your experience there, which let's say you have a highly decorated background, 10 times national champion, I want to repeat, 1-time international gold medal. During that time, what would you say was your toughest test to date?
My recent one before I turned pro was Taylor Bevan. He just signed a matchroom deal. He was a good fighter, and he the one that pushed me to be a really good southpaw. He didn't like southpaws. I was the one that be able to switch. He was a good fighter. Joel Arate, Cyber Golden Boy, Keon Davis fighting on the top rank card. I fought all these guys that are getting signed. That's they supposed to be the top prospects, but I beat these guys. You know what I mean? So this really shows that Misfits really have a star in the making.
Now, one of those hard tests when I was doing my research is you actually went for Olympics trials. You won your spot into there, but they didn't give it to you. What was that like? How did you sort of bounce back from that?
Dealing with the Olympics and stuff was definitely like it was a bittersweet, like a double-edged sword because I made it there and they didn't give it to me, but now I'm able to use that as my fuel. I use that as my story. Why did I turn pro, and I'm getting a world title, and the reason why USA Boxing can never ever say that they made me, because they didn't, because I'm the one that worked hard and got all these national titles, made it to Olympic trials, won the Olympic trials, won the Olympic invitationals, and beat all the guys that I needed to beat, and I'm still didn't make it to the Olympics. So it was just fuel. I just used it as fuel, and now I'm just taking the pro game head on and ready to get a world title.
Well, a step in the right direction you're definitely doing, especially
Yeah.
with that last performance out there. It was absolutely fantastic. And you fought the right people to get into the position that you're in. So I want to talk about, we spoke about some of your tougher moments. Let's now touch on what was your proudest moment of your career? What's the moment that you look back and go, I'm going to frame that?
I think probably the Olympic trials. That's my stand because the way it happened from getting knocked down to getting back up, to proving the doubters wrong that I can move up 2 weight classes and still beat the top guys. It definitely was a moment that even during the moment I cried. You know what I mean? Because it was just like I couldn't believe myself that I had that much heart that I can dig deep and get the win. The Olympic trials and the Olympic invitationals because that was my last tournament, and a lot of people doubted me because I taken off the headgear and I was fighting other Olympian boxers that made it to Olympics, and I'm 20 years old. And when you're 20 in the Olympic status, they consider you young. You know what I mean? So, and I went there and I swept the guys. These guys was 28, 27, and they couldn't mess with me. They couldn't fuck with me. So, now, I think that's probably one of my proudest moments because I really put all the doubters to rest.
Let me pick number one for you because that's a good number 2 and 3. I think number 1 should be definitely coming on Misfits News. That is something you're going to signpost, put in your room, and go, I finally made it. I made it onto Misfits News. This is the moment you've been waiting for.
I've been wanting to come on the news so bad. Like, even when I got signed, I was asking when am I going to get on the news. It was like, calm down, take your time.
Calm down, we're going to get there.
Yeah. There's like, you're going to get there. Just wait. Just take your time.
Well,
it's I'm finally here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute pleasure having you on. But I want to talk about that moment where Misfits signed you. They approached and they said, "We want you as our pro fighter." What was that like? What do you make of that?
So when the negotiating was happening, I was negotiating with all the top rank. I was negotiating with Matchroom, Premier Boxing, Even MVP, Jake Paul, they sent me an offer too, and they was all trying to bid. It was all a bid for them. So when Top Rank got to us, Matchroom, PBC, MVP, it was just like it was a lot. It was like I was so
Almost
surprised
overwhelming.
myself. Yeah, it was overwhelming. Really was because it was so much. It's like all these guys want me. You know what I mean? It's not like me going to them and they I'm try to present myself to them and say, oh, I'm this boxer that y'all should sign. No, they was all coming to me and it was like, oh, we want to get you this, we want to get you that. But when Misfits came around, they came and they already had a painted picture and they had the growth status, and they didn't want to put me in a pool full of other people and prospects. They just wanted to frame me and make me a world champion. That's why I came with Misfits, because I feel like it's a loving family. You know what I mean? I feel like everybody that I'm working with is family and friends, and now we get to the point where we're all benefit from each other. So I'm excited for the future and to keep working, to keep being on Misfits News. I want to stay. I want to be a host. I want to be a host. They need to give me a mic and a camera to work with y'all. But
Have our
don't talk
third
to me
host
about
in.
that.
Yeah, we'll get that signed in the contract. If you keep winning your fights, we'll make you
Right.
sign a contract to be the
And
third host.
I'll be a co-host. I'll be a co-host.
Yeah,
It'll be
exactly.
Misfits News with Cashman.
Yeah, I love it. I love to see that already. So when Misfits did approach you, because you mentioned some of the names there, MVP, Matchroom, etc., were you surprised? Because obviously we are associated with influencer boxing, crossover boxing. So when they said we want a pro fighter, did that not surprise you slightly?
It did. When my coach told me that first he told me MVP was chasing us. And I was like, I kind of figured that, but I was kind of surprised by it. Then he said, KSI and Misfits want you. I was like, what? I'm like, I never seen him sign a pro fighter. They want a pro fighter now. They're like, yeah, and they really want you. Like, they really want to talk to you. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm like, KSI wants to talk to me. Like he got on a Zoom call with me.
Amir, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm excited, bro. Obviously with this deal, I don't want you to have the idea that, oh, you've made it.
I'm not content until I get multiple world titles to the point where I'm inspiring the youth. And he was talking to me and he was telling that this was after I signed, and he was just telling me the what's gonna go on and what's gonna our future is gonna be like, and how our relationship is gonna go, and what they trying to do for me. You know what I mean? So it was surreal because this is an influencer space. You know what I mean? It's for people that do what's up YouTube, and I'm not that type of guy that does that YouTube stuff. So it was weird, but now I'm open to it now. You know what I mean? I've been around the YouTube guys, and I've been to the Misfits events, and now this is like I feel like I'm an influencer now. You know what I mean? So
you definitely got the charisma for it.
Yeah, I'm getting I'm building it up, and people is telling me you should buy a camera and get a YouTube channel. I'm like, I never did YouTube, maybe in the future.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see that if it does come to fruition. But you talk about a phone conversation you had there with KSI, and he sort of explained, this is what we want to do. This is the future projections. Could you actually detail me some of those plans that he did project to you that persuaded you to join Misfits?
Yeah. He started off he commended me of my accomplishments and stuff, and he told me, the first thing he told me, and I remember, he was like, signing this deal doesn't mean you made it. You know what I mean? This is just the beginning. And I understand that completely, because that's been my dream since I was a kid, to sign a major deal where I'd be making life-changing money. You know what I mean? That I can help my mom out, help my family out, and help my gym out. You know what I mean? But this is beyond money. It's beyond the fame and all that stuff. This is for legacy. You know what I mean? This is to get the world titles and stuff. So his picture was telling me to bring, he's going to expand my brand through Misfits, expand my name, and just go up from there. And then year by year, I'll be getting the world title soon. So I love the plan, and that's the really reason why I signed with them, because a lot of the promoters, they really just want this out of you. You know what I mean? The views and stuff, but they don't care about making you into a world champion, building you as this major brand of a good guy that's really trying to make it in life. You know what I mean? KSI wanted that for me. So that's the real reason why I signed with KSI.
You talk about legacy there. I want to ask you, what is it that you want to achieve with Misfits? What's your ultimate goal? When you go, I've done it, I've completed what I wanted to do.
First thing first is to inspire the youth. I'm still a coach at my boxing gym. I coach around 100 kids a day, and my goal is to always inspire the youth because I came from a side of my town that, it wasn't a lot of inspirations, you know what I mean? So, um, and my second one is to be a world champion, be the second world champion from Syracuse, and to be an undisputed champion, the first undisputed champion from Syracuse, and to be able to mark my name in that Hall of Fame.
And you're definitely doing the right steps towards it, especially inspiring the youth. I mean, what a noble thing for you to do, and doing your coaching as well as signing this deal. It's honestly commendable, the fact you've done that. And you speak about you want to be a world champion. What steps are you going to take to be able to make that happen? I mean, whether it's in the gym, sparring with the top ranks, or is there any fights that particularly interest you? Could you detail that to me?
My first year contract, I'm a fight the fights they give me, but the ones that I want is probably from top rank. I want Troy. I want them top guys. Troy Isley. I want Xander Zayas. I want Diego Pacheco. I want all of them. You know what I mean? Because I believe that I can beat them within these next 2 years. You know what I mean? So hopefully, just build me up until the point where I'm 10-0 and we can go against these guys and battle them for their belts.
You talk about those big names there as well. Now, I want to set a scenario, past, present, future, any point. Who would be your dream opponent? Who would you most want to face into the ring? That can be from any point in time.
My dream opponent would probably be Canelo.
Canelo.
I want to be the monster to kill the monster. You know what I mean? I want to be the like Canelo's scary, but I'm scarier. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy that's going against the monster. I want to be the monster that takes out the monster. So, other guy like Crawford, that'd be a good fight. I sparred Crawford actually.
How did that spar go?
It was good. We did 4 rounds. We did a round of tic tac. That's like techniques and stuff, and then we did 3 rounds straight. He actually hit harder than what his weight is, and he had really good precise punching. So, but it was good work. I didn't feel like he got too much of the upper hand of me. I was 19 at the time, so but he definitely gave me a lesson. And I think a year after, he seen me beat up the #1 guy in the USA team, and he was like, yeah, you beat the shit out of him. Like that would be one of my dream fights too. Me and Crawford. I think both. He's the one that inspired me to be a switch hitter, to be able to switch southpaw and orthodox. So I just feel like it would be a chess match instead of me taking down a monster. You know what I mean? Canelo, I feel like I can slay him and freaking take his throne, if that makes sense.
Well, to get to Canelo, you have to first let Jake Paul have that fight, because obviously they're fighting real soon. But I want to talk about those spars. You mentioned sparring Terence Crawford. Is there any other big names that you've sort of been in there with and been able to experience with?
I sparred with Richard Torres. Me and Mr. Torres. You familiar with Richard Torres, the silver medalist? We have a crazy story. First time sparring him, nobody wanted to spar him on the team. And I was up to it, even though he was way heavier than me. He beat the crap out of me the first time we sparred. And then the second time we sparred, I got the upper hand. I finally got the upper hand on him. And, he's a heavyweight, and I'm pushing him back. And then ever since, every time we spar, we'll be banging it out. And we'll do 5 rounds of sparring as a team. And then he'll be like, hey, you want to do it 4 more? And I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And
let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm never gonna duck down for some smoke, but he's the reason why my lungs is like really, really like I can last a long time, because we've been banging it out for so long.
You have to get that good work in, especially going into those trenches. It teaches you when you get into fight night that it's just easy work. You've done the hard work now, and now it's easy work when you're in there. Now, I want to take things to KSI has given you some advice. Now, we haven't seen KSI since the Tommy Fury fight last year. Well, that will be last year coming up. What advice would you give him going into this next year that he wants to fight in Q1? What advice would you give him to succeed this next year in boxing?
I would say stay busy. One thing that a lot of boxers fail to do is stay busy and stay consistent with training and fighting every 3 months, and it separates good boxers from great boxers.
Now, he is scheduled to fight in Q1 of next year. Who would you like to see him against? Obviously, Jake Paul's not going to be the next fight. He's going up against Mike Tyson. He's extraordinarily heavy right now. So if you had to match him up against anyone, who would you put him against?
It's a tough one. I think him and Salt Poppy would be a good one. Salt Poppy is a good fighter, even though he lost to
Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, Anthony Taylor. I feel like he's still progressing and still becoming a good fighter too. Anthony Taylor, I think Anthony Taylor too is a really good fighter, and I think he would give KSI a hard time. I think KSI gonna have to do a really good training camp, and he's gonna have to be able to evaluate during the fight what he's gonna do, because Anthony Taylor is just a guy you can't stop from coming forward. You know what I mean? You got to be on your P's and Q's, and if you get caught with one of his shots, you're going to be, in a position that you don't want to be.
When this video gets released on the Monday, it's going to be the fight week of Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Now, I know we're on the Misfits channel, but it's a fight you cannot avoid because it's absolutely everywhere. Yes. What do you make of this matchup, and what do you think is going to happen? What's your prediction going into it?
I kind of hate it because Mike Tyson is damn near 70 and Jake Paul is, his youth, and he's still got his youth, and he's still growing as a boxer. I think I want what everybody else wants. I want Mike Tyson to tee up and beat the crap out of Jake Paul, but I can't see Jake Paul losing.
Well, let's switch it back to your fight. Obviously, coming up November 28th. I cannot wait to see it. I want to give you the platform now. Any last words or messages for all the fans eagerly anticipating your return to Misfits? I
want to say thank you to Mams, thank you to KSI for giving me the platform. I just want to tell the Misfits community that I'm a household name that in the future y'all gonna appreciate. You know what I mean? So there's been a lot of hate and a lot of talking about, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Amir Anderson is going to be a household name. So y'all better remember it. Y'all going to remember it now, and y'all going to remember it later. So I just want to let y'all know that I'm here, and I'm here to stay.
Absolutely. Amir Cashman, I can't wait to see it. November 28th is going to be a supercard. We have some of the biggest names in crossover boxing, and we also turn to the pro ranks itself. Thank you for joining me in the Misfits News booth.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully they sign me to Misfits News.
I love it. Amir Cashman Anderson is potentially the future, potentially a next big superstar. And sticking with Misfits, it's a company man move, BL. I appreciate the loyalty from him. And what do you think that says about Amir Anderson?
He got offered from Matchroom, MVP, X, Y, and Z. So many names wanted to get him because they know he is at the peak of his career right now and he can achieve so much. So it really, for me, excites me to think we may have a future champion on Misfits. And I don't know yet how Misfits want to frame this pro boxing division. However, having one of these talents in our roster, I can't wait to see how far he can go.
And talking about how he can go, let's talk about maybe where he's come from, right? Sparring Bud Crawford, one of the most pound-for-pound top boxers in the world. I mean, details of the sparring session will obviously remain in private, but if he's getting rounds with guys like Terrence Crawford, Bill, I don't think there's anyone we can put in that ring that he won't be able to get past.
He certainly got his ass whipped, but he also said he was able to hold his own after. I mean, if you talk about talent in the boxing world, Bud Crawford has to be at the top of the iceberg. This guy is there is no better really at this moment in time. And, he has aspirations of fighting people like Canelo, etc. And if you are getting work like that in the gym, you're definitely on the right path. Now for our exclusive tomorrow at 6 p.m. We have a bit of promo that I think you're all going to enjoy. So we're going to watch a preview and see what you make of it.
The 7-0 champion, he's next.
You a bum, you a dweeb, and I can't wait to finish you.
Wow, well that's interesting, right, BL? That's new, that's unique. Maybe not the exclusive that some wanted or wished for, but a different type of promotion that we are very happy to be bringing to the fans, I think.
Absolutely. It excites me because obviously now we're only a matter of weeks away. People have been asking, where's the promotion? Well, I can guarantee you got a lot of promotion coming your way. And this thing that's coming out tomorrow, I don't want to give too many details, is going to be something unique and that's not been done on the Misfits boxing channel before.
Well, that's been the latest and greatest from us here on Misfits News. Remember, 6 p.m. UK time tomorrow is when that fun promotion drops. Can't wait for it. The Supercard, weeks away. Get excited. As always, I've been your host, Ben the Bay Davis, joined by my co-host, BL, and we will see you in the next episode.